Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Just Plain Living. Happy after Memorial Day. Summertime's here. I'm John Gray.
Summertime is really here. I'm Peggy Burton. Good morning.
And I'm Lauren Foster. You know, it might be Thursday while you're watching this, so it's the day after the day after the day.
Yeah,
after.
right. You just have
Or
to kind of
Friday or
figure it. You just
Saturday.
have to kind of figure it out. I'm Jim Fuller, by the way.
Oh, this is Jim, the handsomest.
Oh, you're so kind.
Yes,
She's
I got-
apparently had a good Memorial Day weekend.
Oh,
She
yeah.
camped out.
I
Yeah.
did.
She was on the lake.
I did, and so were hundreds of other people.
No fleas, no ticks.
I am using a natural insect repellent, and it worked.
What
I
is
did
it?
not-
Really?
What is it?
It's called neem oil, N-E-E-M. It stinks really bad, but if you mix it with some other stuff, and it doesn't, and you don't have to use very much of it. And yeah.
And you stay away from your friends. You're okay.
Nobody's going to bite you.
Nobody wants to get that close.
So when you say bite me, don't worry about it.
Yeah, yeah, but it really works. And now my dog's kind of itchy. Maybe I should put some of that on him too.
Yeah,
But
probably.
you were on Normandy Lake,
Yes, we were on Normandy Lake.
and they opened, didn't
They
you say
opened
they
Cedar
opened back
Point.
up Cedar Point again, and
They
it was
did.
full?
It was, yes, it was very full, and they have a great new little store there with really, really nice
How
people.
nice.
Yeah, so from our campsite, we just had to go around like a mile to get to there
To the
buy
store.
ice every hour.
Every 3 minutes.
Were they noisy?
They actually were far enough away on the lake that I don't know, but there was another cove near us that there were noisy people until 4:30 in the morning.
Well, of course.
Well, it's Memorial
4:30
Day
in the
weekend.
morning, yeah.
They're camping out.
Yeah, and yeah, my poor dog stood guard over the campsite all night. So
But you can kind of relate to being noisy up to 4:30 in the morning, can't
yes,
you,
I
Lauren?
can.
mean, you know.
I'm not too hard on them.
Yeah, yeah.
I do hope everybody thought about the veterans on Memorial Day.
Absolutely.
I bet
did.
they did.
I
Oh, and
always do.
speaking of that, here's a little message here that we need to read. On June 16th, the Boy Scouts will be having a American flag retirement ceremony in the field behind St. Paul's Catholic Church here in Tullahoma, beginning at 9 a.m. and going until 3 p.m. Open to the community. The public is invited to bring your American flags to be retired, or you can drop them off at the Tullahoma Police or Fire Department until June 14th.
Very nice.
So if you have an old flag that you don't know what to do with, treat it the way it needs to be treated and bring it to these folks, and they will retire it properly for you.
Absolutely. Don't throw it in the
okay.
garbage can.
No,
Very
I never do.
disrespectful.
I burn my flags usually.
The greatest tribute that I saw, but Facebook, everybody's thanking the soldiers and memorializing the people who serve and protect our freedom. But there was a picture of a military guy jumping out of an airplane with his dog, and the caption was, "Oh, you taught your dog to roll over. That's so cute."
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, the VFW here in Tullahoma kind of puts together this deal where they put flags on all the veterans'
And that's a
graves.
beautiful thing to do.
We went out and talked to some folks with the Civil Air Patrol, and I think it was Boy Scout Troop 402 on Saturday morning, and they were at Rose Hill Memorial Gardens doing
Ah,
that.
that's
So must have been 1,000
That's
flags. There were
Yeah.
so many flags.
My
that
daddy's
they
buried
had,
there.
but,
He's
yeah.
a veteran.
Yeah,
At
so-
1,000,000 degrees.
yeah, it was pretty warm. It was pretty warm, but they were enthusiastic about what they were doing. And I also talked to a veteran out there that, I got it on film. We'll probably play it sometime this week. But who was in, I think, all 3 branches of service.
How interesting.
At one time or another, he would get out, and he decided
And
he
then he'd
wouldn't
go
go back.
back,
So he
yeah.
served his country.
Aren't there 4?
Huh?
Aren't there 4?
Did I say all 3?
You said all 3.
Oh, well, he'd been in 3.
He'd been in 3, yeah.
So, anyway, very good, Laura.
That's very
Yeah.
Impressed.
Yeah, I am.
I was in Air Force life.
There
one
you go.
time.
There
Yeah.
you go. Well, a lot of times, I know when I was in basic training in the Army, there was a person that was in basic training with me who was a sergeant in the Air Force. And a lot of times they'll change because of opportunity for promotion might be better
In another
in one branch. If they're stalled out somewhere, they might change branches because there's an opportunity. But this guy was the all-armed forces fast pitch softball pitcher.
Oh.
And that's why he was moved over to the Army, because they offered him more to be in the Army
Then
Yeah.
than
Because they
the
needed a
Air
fast-
Force was. And we would go for 10-mile runs, and he would stay at the barracks and pitch.
yeah.
Really?
He didn't have to run. He didn't have to push up. He didn't have to crawl. He didn't have to crawl through swamps. And all
had
that.
a
strong
pitch.
arm.
All he had to do was pitch. Of course, he'd done all that stuff before. I'm
Sure.
sure. He was
Well,
older. He was older than
it's
we were.
all probably fair. I'm sure when Elvis
Sure.
was in the military, he didn't do all that either. He probably
Sang.
sang.
Yeah.
Yeah, so-
But this guy was unbelievable what he could do with the softball.
That's amazing.
Unbelievable. He was a big guy too, so he could let her rip. But
I love your little red, white, and blue
I
pen.
have, that's a little red, white, and blue flag, and I have red, white, and blue all over me today.
So patriotic.
and you got your blue jeans on. I'm proud of you.
Oh, well, yeah. We didn't have to announce that.
Baby's got her blue jeans
They
on.
don't. Getting ready for country. We're going to have
Country
auditions before
show.
too long.
Are we having a really great songwriter on the show today?
I hope so.
Hopefully.
That would be nice.
I hope so. We won't. We'll not make that announcement just
Until
in
the
case.
time comes, yeah.
When it's the day after a holiday and we're taping, you better not be.
Better not count on
Count on
anybody.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
J.D. Oliver's supposed to be here today, and he and Marla, and I'll just go ahead and say Alex Harvey played at the Smokehouse this weekend, who is the fellow who wrote Delta Dawn and Reuben
Delta
James and a lot of
stuck in my
those
head.
songs back in the day, and he, J.D. said he was going to bring him down here this morning, so I hope
That'd
they,
be
I hope
nice.
they
Yeah,
make
that'd
it.
be great if they show up.
Because I met him years ago. He's a really interesting fella. And he wrote a
since
lot.
you're a writer,
he
you
wrote a lot
enjoy
for
meeting
Tanya
people like that,
Tucker,
yeah.
Tanya Tucker, and different ones.
Tanya's still singing.
Yeah.
I haven't
A little bit.
I haven't seen her in a while.
She's
Tanya. Which is it? Tanya or Tanya?
Tanya.
Believe
Can
it's both. Or either or.
yeah.
Either or. Okay.
If it were my name, I would want it to be Tanya. But for country music singer, Tanya's got pretty much
Tanya's
she's
got a better ring to
Tanya.
you.
Tanya Tucker.
Tanya. But she started off real early.
I know. She was
She was
yeah,
a young.
very young. One of the youngest in her era, I believe. Of course, there was Brenda.
Brenda Lee.
Brenda Lee.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
she was awfully young.
And then the next one to come along was the one that-
Leanne Rhymes.
Leanne Rhymes.
Yeah.
You know, she was a
was
big star
little
when she
tiny
was
thing, yeah.
13, 14 years
Big
old.
voice. Big
I
voice,
read
yeah.
somewhere, speaking of big stars, where Justin Bieber has just turned 18, and yesterday he bought a
God.
$6.5 million home.
Oh my,
Oh my
God.
gosh.
You know, I find that's kind of, most of us when we turn 18, we're trying to figure out how we can get our first car.
Right.
I get you.
Yeah.
And he still looks like he's 12.
Yeah.
And I heard he's in trouble for roughing up a photographer.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Well, he was
Getting
trying to
picture.
entertain his little girlfriend, and they kept getting in his way. That's kind of important
Oh,
to
my
you
God.
when you're 18.
When you're 18.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Peggy, Guys and Dolls is coming up,
Guys
isn't
and
it?
Dolls is coming up at the end of June, and it is working me a lot. I'm doing the orchestra.
And the music- the music is
it's some of the-
difficult.
It's some of the hardest music. It's the hardest music I've directed since West Side Story. It's very difficult, but it's great music. It's music you leave singing.
You know, it's one of those things because my son Jacob is in the show, and he has a role where he sings, and he's been singing his music, and the melodies, like you say,
Yeah, they're great melodies.
are
Like
so,
Bill
but they're
82
but they're
yeah.
very obscure, and you know, most of us look for resolution in a simple way in music. You know, you get used to it going da 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 da, and then the last
1,
notes
4,
die.
5 chord.
You know,
Yeah.
and then but when that doesn't happen, you go, wait a minute, this is jazz. but a lot of the show music is so well done that it happens, something you think is wrong that happens, and then after you a little bit down the way you realize it's brilliant.
Oh yeah,
You know.
This is great music. I think it's musically one of the best musicals of the old days that I'm fond of.
When is that going to be happening?
So in the last weekend in June, we're going to do it 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, last week in June, and July 1, which is Sunday at 2 o'clock at Tullahoma High School.
At Tullahoma High
It's not going to be at the Civic Center, although the Community Playhouse is presenting it. we're doing it at the high school, so we can just do it one weekend and have more auditorium space, which is a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Plus, a great stage up there.
Big stage.
Big stage. And this weekend, we have Cat McMurray's production of his story, Michael Jackson's story.
As told by her.
As told by her, and that's going to be Saturday.
I've seen that. That's a great little show.
She does a great show.
She's so energetic, and the kids that work with her, they're great dancers and doing a good job.
And fun.
And my
Fun,
acapella singers are going to open the show with a number. It's acapella, obviously. They're going to do the Haitian number, "We Are the World."
Oh,
that
cool.
was used to raise money. And anyway, it's going to be a good show.
And Bonnaroo's coming.
Oh my gosh.
We've got a representative from Bonnaroo on today's show.
Good.
So exciting.
When does Bonnaroo open?
Oh gosh, I was just thinking about that.
6th of June, next week.
I mean, it's just
next week from this Thursday. And let's see, prior to that is the Music Tree Festival in Manchester, which a bunch of folks have put together. They have, I think, 50 or 60 acts coming in.
Oh my goodness!
Starting on
so that's a
Monday, or no, starting this weekend.
This weekend,
This weekend, and they're playing in about 5 venues in Manchester. It's pre-Bonnaroo, because a lot of people show up for Bonnaroo earlier,
and so they're going to take advantage of that crowd.
They're taking advantage of that, and they have about 60 groups.
I think that's a great lead-in. This is the first time they've done that.
First time they've done it.
It is a great lead-in.
Chip Ramsey and 2 or 3 others over there sort of had the idea.
And I hate the music is going to be so great that I hate Chip's going to have to miss it. Because, well, I mean that's just Chip. If it starts at 5 o'clock, he won't get there till 10.
By the way, speaking of Chip, I saw over in Manchester their production of The Odd Couple. And it goes again. Where is it over? Maybe that's the end of it. It might be on another weekend. I'm not sure.
Chip was in that.
But they were great. It was fun. It was really fun. I think it's time to go.
Time to go.
Well,
we've said enough for right now. We'll be back after a couple of commercial messages with this week's show, and don't go away. Got good stuff happening.
Times have changed since Traders Bank first opened our doors in 1889. Back then, online banking meant people were waiting ahead of you. And technology? The word hadn't even been invented yet. Even though banking has transformed over the years, at Traders, one thing has never changed. Friendly smiles, a neighborly hello, and a sincere appreciation for our customers. When a Traders employee says, "You're welcome," you are, and you always will be. Traders Bank, you're welcome. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
These are the children who had no chance. They're known as Brazil's street kids. They wander the streets dying by the thousands from drugs, AIDS, and bullets. Most of them have been abandoned, left to survive on their own. These children needed a place to go. I had to do something. So I brought it up at Rotary. People heard about what we were doing and asked how they could help. Together, we raised funds to give them a home and open the school. They're learning a trade. Now hundreds of kids have a family and a future. They're contributing to the community because Rotary believes in making things better for everyone.
Rotary is making a difference right now.
They have hope.
Rotary gives people an opportunity to help.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the set now Tim Keller, from Good Samaritan here in Tullahoma. And Tim, I think you work actually full-time for Good Samaritan, I believe, don't you?
Correct.
Okay. Tell us a little bit before we get into your subject matter today about what the Good Samaritan program does in Tullahoma.
Good Samaritan is a faith-based outreach program here in Tullahoma. It's one of the oldest outreaches. It started back in 1959. Basically what we do is that we try to help people with their electric bill. We try to help with rent. You know, we try to help with medication. So there's a variety of things that we really try to do at the Good Samaritan in trying to help meet the needs of the people here in Tullahoma that are in a great need. Of course, the bulk of my job is to try to help people find employment. That's why my job title is a job specialist, I guess. But I enjoy trying to help people, you know, find that right employment or that right career, or job, whatever. So it works out pretty good. It sure does.
And obviously, I would imagine a lot of the people that need the help of Good Samaritan are folks who are in that situation because of not having sufficient employment or no employment.
Right, correct. And of course, you know, we see a problem, and of course, it's not only in Tullahoma, but it's throughout the United States that we've got a problem of people either losing their jobs or can't find a job. And so that's why I'm on set today. I'm going to share some good things about what's going to take place come June the 8th.
Well, you know, a couple of things here, and this is really a neat deal that Tim is going to tell you about here. But I have to say that I thought I knew all about Good Samaritan. I had no idea that you guys tried to help people find work.
Yes, sir. And you know, that's the thing about a lot of people. They know about us, but they don't know actually what we do. And that's why that we encourage people to come and sit down with us and let us go over the program with you, you know, and show you exactly step by step what we do there at the Good Samaritan and the variety of things that we do there.
Okay. All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about this neat new thing you got happening here.
You know, I'm really excited, Jim, about this. It's called the Good Samaritan Career Day, which is going to be hosted by the Tennessee Department of Labor Career Coach. And you might say, well, what is the career coach? Well, the career coach is actually coming into Tullahoma for the first time. My understanding is, and that's what they told me.
I think you're correct.
Out of Nashville. And it's going to be June the 8th at the Northgate Mall from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. There's going to be 7 hours there that the career coach is going to be set up. Now, there's going to be several workshops that's going to take place when the career coach is here. And one thing is, first, is that anybody that needs a professional resume done, please come. There are people that will be on the coach, and of course the coach is like 35 foot long, 13 foot high, and there's going to be professional people there on the coach that will sit down with you and work with you, and they will do a professional resume for you. All you need to do is just to bring your work history, your information of where you've worked, how long you've worked, you know, the dates and what have you. And so please, you know, if you need a professional resume done, please come, and these workers will sit down with you, and it takes, they say, about 15 or 20 minutes to actually do a professional resume.
Yeah, now
So-
this, and just let me comment on that for a second. Well, two things. The career coach is actually a vehicle equipped.
Actually,
yeah, and that Tim is talking about, and it's equipped to help you do all the things you need to do to find employment.
Right.
But now, you know, if you don't know how to do a resume, that can be very challenging for people.
It really can.
And when instead of 20 minutes, it might take you 2 days.
2 days, actually,
Yeah.
and that's the truth. I mean, that is the truth there, because a resume can either get your foot in the door or get you put in file 13. And I mean, that's the truth. So it's important to have a good resume when you are applying for a job. Now, the second thing they will do on this career coach, which is again a bus, there's 12 computers on that bus. And they will bring people in and set them down at the computer one-on-one, and what they will do is they will train you how to go online to find where jobs or careers are actually at. So that's a plus. You know, if you can find where the jobs are at, then you can apply for the job. So the key is just knowing where to go online to find, where they are doing some hiring. Okay. The other thing is that they will train people on how to dress proper for the job interview. And that's important. When somebody has been interviewed for a job, your outward appearance plays a vital importance of whether you could get the job or whether you don't get the job. So they're going to have workers there to train and to show and to teach you how to dress right for a job interview. The last thing they will be doing is, what are the top 10 questions that's going to be asked when you're being interviewed for a job? For instance, a couple of them comes off the top of my head. What are your weak points? Most people don't think about that. They think about their strong points, but they don't think about their weak points.
And that's a really good point there. And you really need to understand what your weak points are.
You really do, because you're getting 9 times out of 10, you're going to be asked, okay, what are your weak points? And the last thing you want is to be sitting there going, well, I've never really thought about it. So the other thing is, what do you see yourself doing in 5 years from now? That's a big question to ask when you're interviewing for a job. So they're going to go over the 10 top questions that are asked to you when you are interviewing for a particular job. So this is a great opportunity, and I would truly encourage everyone to please come. And again, that's going to be June the 8th. Which is on a Friday at the Northgate Mall here in Tullahoma. It will be set up outside. The hours will be from 9 till 4 p.m. So please come. The other quick thing too, Jim, is that if there's any organizations or any businesses that would like to come and set a booth up or a table to promote your business or your organization, or you're looking to do some hiring, please come. And you can bring your table, bring a booth. They'll let you set it up inside the mall, and it'll be a great time.
Exactly. And that was you hit a good point there when you said, now if you're an employer and you're looking for people, this would be a great place to start. Right.
It really is. So please come. Again, that's June the 8th from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m.
So make plans to be there, particularly if you are looking for work. And I know that the fact of the matter that this bus is set up with all the computer equipment and stuff is really going to give you an edge on trying to find that job. And obviously there'll be people there to help you and tell you where to look for those kinds of things. And I know the Governor Haslam has started some new initiatives to make those job bases more accessible to everybody. So it's a great way to do it, Tim, and a great program that you guys are doing.
Thanks for letting me be on.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We'll be right back in just a moment with more living right after this.
This used to look like this. But now with My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young, it's easy. We've made all of our files electronic and stored them in our virtual filing cabinet, which gave us tons of space. And Bob here, a big promotion. Melissa can pull files in minutes and spends hours on Facebook. And Kyle's confidential files stay confidential.
We're not totally paper-free, right? Thank you.
My Paper-Free Office from R.J. Young. It's that easy.
Good can overcome. That is where your contributions to the Salvation Army go.
Welcome back to Just Plain Living. I'm Lauren Foster, and I'm here with our representative from Bonnaroo, Jeff. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being with us. I know that you have a crazy busy schedule, so I appreciate you taking time out to be with us.
It's my pleasure. Glad I could come out.
It says Jeff Cuellar.
Cuellar, yes.
Cuellar. Okay. And what is your title? What do you do?
What do I do? I'm the Director of Community Relations for the Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival. Okay. I work for AC Entertainment in Knoxville, Tennessee. We're one of the, the 3 owners, producers of the actual festival. And for 7 weeks out of the year, I call Manchester home.
It's fascinating. I grew up in Manchester. That's my hometown. And my whole life, nobody knew where Manchester, Tennessee was. And now you say, I'm from Manchester, Tennessee. Oh, that's where Bonnaroo is. Put us on the map.
It's been good. We've been very fortunate. It's we joke internally. It's not even joke. It's common that the Southern hospitality is really what makes Bonnaroo so special. We talk about Bonnaroo meaning the good stuff. Well, the good stuff is the community in which we live and live, work, and play. The fact that we own the property, it's just kind of our way to kind of give back and to really be a part of it. We're just really excited to be here in Manchester, Coffee County, the state of Tennessee, and fortunate enough to be able to share everything that we get to breathe every day with the patrons that come to the festival.
Right, and we here in this area are very, very grateful for the economic influx that comes with Bonnaroo. Now, you said there's 3 owners.
Yes, there is.
Now, are these the original owners? This is how many years has Bonnaroo been going on?
This is our 11th year, and it is the same group. We've had probably different contractors and individuals come out throughout the year, but the same group owns the festival, and the same group actually owns the property as well.
So how did this all come about? Did somebody just say, I'd like to have a concert out here in my field?
Kind of, a little bit that way. No, Ashley Capps, AC Entertainment. It was kind of his initial brainchild. It's modeled after some of the European festivals, Glastonbury being probably the largest one, in terms of coming into a smaller town and creating something special with the whole camping aspect and music aspect. And when it kind of came about, it was really taking a look at the music industry as a whole and the festival scene as a whole, and deciding what's missing. And we were curious to know whether a large-scale camping festival would work in the United States the way it does in Europe. But I guess kind of the breaking down a little bit of the music industry in terms of people discovering new music in other ways and really going out to see live music, and the success that Phish, Dave Matthews Band, Widespread Panic have had on the road, we thought it would be a great time to come out with something different, something a little more fresh, and come out with the camping festival. And so there was some site research, some area research, and I think Itchycoo is kind of what brought us to the actual farm. Yeah, it kind of helped to highlight the area in terms of the actual the piece of property that Sam McCown's owned.
Was that your
Itchycoo was not us. It was a different group.
Was it in the same place?
The same exact place. Obviously, it was the Sam McAllister's farm, which is now Great Stage Park. But that's kind of what brought us to the area, and just its proximity to Nashville, Chattanooga, Birmingham, just cities in general. Within a 500-mile radius, just the number of major markets that you're able to get to is tremendous.
So now Itchycoo did okay, but needed there was a year in between Itchycoo and the first Bonnaroo?
A couple of years. It was 1999, I think, was Itchycoo, if I'm not mistaken. And 2002 was our first year. Not that I really can't speak to the success or failure of Itchycoo, but it is what definitely will put Manchester as a potential spot on the map, and we came and we fell in love. The property was perfect. The ingress egress, being able to logistically pull off an 80,000 person festival, we just felt like it was perfect. And
that's an interesting part, the logistics. Oh my goodness! Yes. How many people does it take to put everything together?
Oh wow! We estimate somewhere, including volunteers, security, just staff that we bring in. We try to bring in the best of the business, from the people who handle portalets to stage production, sound, lights, roads. Just the number of roads and things that we do out there, the best in the business. And I would say there's a solid between 5,000 and 10,000 people that we bring out there. Volunteers alone, we're over 2,000 volunteers.
Wow. Yeah. That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And so those are each like subcontractors.
Yeah, subcontractors, and that doesn't even count the organizations that come out and work our beer booths to make money. Just one of the many ways that we give back to the community. We have local organizations come out and work the beer booths, and then they make a percentage of the profits as a fundraiser. So it beats washing cars and Girl Scout cookies or whatever it may be.
And you get to be in a really fun place.
And you get to be in a fun place. Yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe a little hot, but it works.
Now, I've only been, believe it or not, as it's sad, I've only been to Bonnaroo once.
Well, at least you've been once. Okay.
I have, and but I didn't get to see everything. There's
too much. Yeah,
there's too much to see.
It's a city.
In the event that some of our viewers might not have ever been, is there a certain area for camping in tents, a certain for camping in campers?
We divided up a little bit. We've worked over the years to work out the logistics of where to put people in terms of, with an RV, the weight of an RV in terms of on the property, just in case we have inclement weather. We do have a tent camping program where you purchase a tent that's already fully furnished and ready to go. You just kind of fly in and park and make it happen.
That's not air conditioned.
It's not air conditioned. But we do have the RVs, an RV program. We've got our Roll Like a Rockstar program to where you can be on a tour bus, be shuttled around the side on a private golf cart, have your own bar, and all your meals catered.
Oh, boss man, that's what I want.
Yeah, that's where we all want to go. It's kind of the mecca. Our VIP program and just general camping. But our center area, what we call Centeroo, houses all of the action, and we, in a sense, create a city for one weekend of the year. Manchester becomes the 7th largest city in Tennessee, and Coffee County is the 10th largest county.
Wow!
So it's a pretty big deal.
It's very. So we all get very, very excited about when Bonnaroo is approaching. We do some work with one of our media partners, Fantasy Radio. I think is
Fantasy 101. I love them. Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
We do great work with them. They are basically our official radio station throughout the festival, and all of our programming and just the number of guest DJs and spots that come on board, and just being able to get messaging out to our fans. It's been a great partnership, and it's going to be one that continues for years.
Are pets allowed at Bonnaroo?
Pets are not allowed at Bonnaroo unless it's a seeing eye dog or a service animal. Service animals are allowed, but just general pets we cannot have on the grounds.
Well, and I don't, I wouldn't take him anyway. He would die of heat stroke.
Yeah, it's hot. It's very hot.
In his black fur coat. All right, so speaking of that, precautions, things for people to be aware of before they go out and spend the week at Bonnaroo.
Yeah, it's a camping music festival, so if you've never camped before, I definitely would talk to patrons that have been, but hydrate, and when you think you've hydrated enough, hydrate some more.
Right?
It's hot out there. Generally sunscreen, for those fair-skinned folks, even for those non-fair-skinned folks, protect yourself from the sun.
Don't do weird drugs that you've never heard of.
I do not do drugs, period. It's a safe festival, and if you are going to consume adult beverages, do it in moderation and be responsible. And it's a family-friendly atmosphere. It's everybody is welcome. We've got people that are I've seen kids out there running around, and we do have our kids program all the way to 65 plus. So it's all ages, and we invite everyone to come. And I would just say be smart. Have a fan in your tent. Make sure you're packing enough water, ice, and just get ready for a good time.
All right, and where do we get tickets real quick?
Bonnaroo.com.
Bonnaroo.com.
Yep, and if you are a Coffee County resident, we do sell some tickets through Fantasy 101 at a discounted price just for Coffee County residents.
Just for Coffee County residents. Awesome, Jeff. Thank you so much for being with me.
Yes.
Stay with us. We'll be back with more Just Plain Living right after this.
I'm NASCAR driver Mark Martin. You know what's worse than waiting in traffic? Waiting in the emergency room when you're in pain. So choose the ER that's extra fast, ER Extra. ER Extra is specifically engineered to get you the help you need and back in action with race car speed. ER Extra. Extra fast, extra easy, extra great.
ER Extra. Exclusively at Harton Regional Medical Center. Get Tullahoma's news first, fast, and free with Tullahoma's news leader on 6 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights at 6, 8, and 10 p.m. Jimmy and Jenny bring you local weather, sports, community calendar events, birth announcements, and a comprehensive look at the latest news stories and news makers as only a video news broadcast can do. Tullahoma's news, get it first, fast, and free with news leader on Channel 6, your local information network.
When you see the sign, The Main Event, take a close look inside at a hair studio that offers services by some of the best master stylists in Middle Tennessee. These stylists offer a list of services that compete with large city salons, from trendy cuts for men, women, and children to the latest color techniques, including highlights and bold color accents. Other services offered include permanent hair weaving and relaxing to formal hairstyle for that special occasion. You can also give yourself a very special treat with a full makeover, including full body waxing. For your convenience, we are open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until the last client leaves happy. Call and make your appointment at 931-571-8682 or stop by our Tullahoma location at 207 North Jackson Street. Pamper yourself at The Main Event today.
How long has it been since you raced a cheetah? Are your tornado creating skills getting rusty? Tired of being the only one in your neighborhood who hasn't built a dinosaur? Sounds like it's time to visit the Hands-On Science Center. The Hands-On Science Center is an indoor science playground. In this museum, please touch is the rule. Join us for weekly science demonstrations on space, lasers, lizards, rocks, and a whole lot more. No two visits are ever the same, so visit often to see our ever-changing exhibits and demonstrations. The Hands-On Science Center, 101 Mitchell Boulevard in Tullahoma.
Welcome back to Living. I am so happy to have on the set with me today Margaret Seville. She used to be my neighbor, and you had to move away. Thanks for coming.
You're quite welcome.
You didn't move too far, though.
No.
Today we're going to talk about Asperger's, and that's a topic that I think is very important in all our lives. You want to tell me a little bit what it means, what Asperger's means?
Well, Asperger's is a neurobiological disorder by which people have weak communication skills. Basically, their brain is not wired the same way a normal person's is.
Right.
And they will react to many things in different ways. People think they're geeky. They don't respond to normal body language. If they're too close, they don't recognize that.
They don't like to be, frankly, too close to people. I don't.
Not
think.
really. Not really.
As a general rule, I say they. Maybe there's different levels.
There is a broad spectrum of levels in Asperger's. There are people who are profoundly challenged, and when you meet them or see them, it's quite obvious. There are other people who are just barely on the spectrum. You would never expect that they had a true neurological disorder. They operate, they go through school, they do pretty well. They are targets for bullies because they're very naive.
That's what worries me a lot. When people are different, often they get bullied.
Yes, yes. There are bully issues. Our son has Asperger's, and in middle school in particular, and of course middle school is just a hard time for all
everybody,
students.
Regardless.
But in middle school, we had serious bullying issues, but I have to say the school system, the administrators that we worked with were always responsive and did everything they could to mitigate.
We're fortunate here in Tullahoma that our school system is on top of a lot of issues like this.
Yes, we have, Nick was diagnosed when he was in the 7th grade, and as soon as we started the procedures to have him tested, the school system jumped right in.
That's wonderful.
And did a lot. We're very proactive.
Give us an example of a few things you noticed that were different with Nick than your other son, say, that made you decide you needed to get some help.
Nick had would have serious mood swings. Things would happen, tiny little things would set him off, and he would have the proverbial meltdown. I think we've all probably seen some child just totally lose it.
And did he scream,
at
cry?
Walmart? He would scream, cry. And there were times when he'd get upset, and I would say, what's the matter? And when it was over, he'd look at me and just in tears, I don't know.
And he didn't understand.
And he didn't understand what was going on. His fine motor skills are not great. The people who have Asperger's may have a tendency to be stiff.
So would it help to take dance class?
To take dance class, yes. One of the things that we have found in the last year or so that has been truly beneficial is chiropractic adjustments.
How interesting.
That is something that we have found just to be great. He can tell a difference with that. People with Asperger's have a tendency to fall behind in maturity, and ultimately they will probably catch up. I expect that by the time Nick's in his mid-20s, everything will be fine as far as that goes.
Well, we should say that he graduated with honors, and some people have the idea that maybe because they have Asperger's, they're not smart. That has nothing to do with it.
No, not at all.
Nothing at all.
People who have Asperger's frequently, well, most of them are cognitively very intelligent. It is not a cognitive issue. They're very
the neurological part.
Yes, they're very intelligent. They will get target interests.
Well, if there's a parent out there that feels like maybe their child has Asperger's, do you have advice for them? Like, who would they contact? Do they go to their school principal?
Talk to their teachers, talk to the guidance counselor at the high school, talk to your pediatrician or doctor. There's also a website that I have found when we started this road years ago. There is a website. It's called AspergerSyndrome.com.
That's easy to remember.
And they have a variety. They have the diagnosis. They have the description in both the diagnostic version, as in the DSM-V, which is the Bible for psychological disorders. They also have it written out in layman's terms.
Oh, good.
So that you and I can look at it and read it, and they have a variety of articles that you can identify with.
Right.
You can read them and you can understand them. Asperger's actually was identified in Vienna in 1948, but was not recognized in the United States until 1994.
And that ties in a little bit with autism, is that right? And ADHD.
Yes.
They all kind of come under an umbrella of neurological disorders.
They're under the autism spectrum disorder umbrella, at least for the time being. There's going to be a new DSM-V published in the near future, and there is some discussion of changes being made. I'm not a psychologist. I don't use it on a regular basis, but from what I'm hearing, it does give me concern.
I think one of the things that interested me while we were just talking was the need for regular routine with an Asperger's patient.
Yes, routine. They are they are upset with major changes. If in our house, if we had something planned as a child with Nick,
right,
and we had to change our schedule, we would have to stop and say, wait a minute, Nick, we were going to do so and so. We can't do that. Something has happened. We'll do it later, but that's not going to happen right now. And he would be fine. If we didn't give him a heads up and say the schedule has changed, then that could upset him.
So he has to understand the schedule. Did you find like going to bed a certain time, getting up a certain time, stay into that rigid routine? Were you able to do that?
That is actually one of the issues with Asperger's is sleep.
They need more sleep, they don't sleep?
Yes. In our case, Nick had an awful time because of the medications he was taking. He would go to bed and he would be wide awake, and he would have a hard time going to sleep. After several years, we changed his meds, and that was helpful because it took us off the roller coaster a little bit. People with Asperger's are normal people with quirks.
And I think it's one thing that public needs to understand. When you see somebody that's a little unusual, don't let it make you crazy.
No.
Try to understand that we all have different wirings in our brain.
One of the things is invisible disabilities are much more difficult to deal with. And I think you take someone who has something like Asperger's, and they're very high functioning, and you don't know that that's their situation, and you think, my gosh, this person's crazy.
And some people blame the parents, like they're not establishing a discipline routine at their house.
Yes,
but
and that's not
true.
That's not the case at all.
The most loving parents, the most, with the best procedures, can have a child.
Yes.
And many of us may have it ourselves and never have been diagnosed.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm so happy that we're beginning to talk about it and recognize that this is something that happens in life, and we need to be thinking about it.
Yes.
Do you want to give some advice to parents out there that might have you have an organization that meets?
I'm not sure whether there is an Asperger's specific group in town. I know that there has been an autism support group in town, and many of the kids who are involved in that do have the Asperger's
I think
disorder.
I personally think this is an issue that we might want to talk about again sometimes. I appreciate the fact you came and shared with us that Nick had this problem, and I'm so proud of him. Honestly, I would have never known. I think he's a wonderful young man. Thanks, Margaret.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back with more of Living.
Citizens Tri-County Bank has the checking, loans, savings, and traditional banking services you want. Plus free internet banking and bill pay, bank your change, Visa gift card, and lots more state-of-the-art banking services. We focus on the service and services you want. So you can bank when, where, and how you want, at our offices, or from just about anywhere. Citizens Tri-County Bank, the only community bank you'll ever need.
If you're looking for a great atmosphere, good music, an open design, and a staff that understands what it takes to serve the best food around, you'll find it at the Timberloft Restaurant in Manchester. Locally owned and operated, the Timberloft features smoked meats, prime rib, black Angus steaks, sandwiches, burgers, pastas, incredible appetizers and sides, and decadent desserts made in-house. Searching for a new place to hang out with company clients and friends? With a cozy feel, a quiet bar, awesome drinks, and big city quality food, you found it when you visit the Timberloft, 1165 Woodbury Highway, Manchester. Catering and party planning available. The Timberloft, spectacular.
This facility was built literally on the international date line to bring Charter customers tomorrow's technology first. Like Charter Internet, which was just made faster again. With speeds up to 100 megs, you can download a movie in 2 minutes. The #1 internet service provider in the nation. Click.
Fogelman, good luck with the presentation tomorrow.
Already nailed it.
Get Charter Internet Express for only $19.99 a month.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and it's time again for history. We're going to have a history lesson today, and this is going to be it's about the third time we've had this history lesson, and the teacher is Catherine Murray, and she is going to teach us about the history of Michael Jackson.
Yes, as seen through my eyes.
As seen through your eyes, and as heard through your voice.
Yes, yes.
And we want everybody to realize what you see on stage is the voices of the people that are up there.
Yes, it is. I've gotten questions about are we lip syncing or something, but it is live singing. That's ups and all.
And dancing. And
yeah,
dancing.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the show, when did you start doing this, Kat?
February of 2011, last year, and I did it again in November, and they're all fundraisers, and all the money goes to
good stuff.
Oh, great stuff.
Good stuff. Good stuff. And I know there's a big check over there at South Jackson that they blew up, or you blew up and brought over there.
I blew it up.
What?
It was $1,000.
$1,000, you know. And so what she does is takes local young people and puts together a show. And I really want to compliment you because that, you know, the organizational side of putting on a show. is not an easy thing to do.
No, and I'd never done it before, so it was the first time.
Finding time to practice and get, we're all so busy to get people's schedules to where you can get 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 people together to work on something is difficult, and this is your 3rd time to do it.
This is our 3rd time.
What's going to be different this time?
Well, if I told you everything, you wouldn't come to the show. So we're going to do 2 or 3 different things, really great surprises. And we have 3 of the same children are going to be in the show, and we have a clip of that if you guys want to show that just a little bit to tease people on the great job that these kids do, because they have to practice just like us, and it's just amazing. And I really appreciate the parents for taking that time to do that and get them there.
So we'll go to the clip now. Now that is getting it on right
That's
there.
getting it on.
About how long is the show, Kat?
It is 2 hours.
Full.
Hard. Hard, nonstop. Dancers are sweating by the time it's over, and there's a 15-minute intermission, and then we come back for another hour.
And the last couple of times, folks, you don't have to stay in your seat.
No,
you want to get up and
you
dance.
will not stay in your seat.
And there's people all over that place dancing. Young people, old people. Doesn't make any difference. It's party.
Yes, I tell people, if you like to go to concerts and somebody sitting next to you and singing it annoys you, don't come to this concert. Because people are up on the stage. We get people on the stage, I believe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
It'll come up, and the kids are dancing in the aisle, the adults are dancing in the aisle, and everyone's singing, and it's great. I love it. I love to do it. And it's this Saturday night, before we forget that part.
That's it.
It will be June the 2nd, 7 p.m. at South Jackson.
South Jackson Civic Center. Be there, be square.
That's right. I have at least, at the top of my head, there's at least 6 people that's been to both the previous shows that are coming to this again. So it's great. And we're still looking for advertisers, so if you want to put an ad in the program, that'd be great, because that money also goes to the foundation. And it's a foundation that gives scholarship to women over 23 at Motlow. So,
wonderful. Wonderful. Now let's leave that show and talk a little bit about this lady right here and about how much she does for our community. Everywhere you go, every time you're at some type of event, you find Catherine Murray there.
Yes.
She's donating her time, she's donating her talent. She's a great disc jockey and does a wonderful,
love that music.
Provides music to people in a lot of situations, and just a remarkable lady. We're just very, very fortunate to have her do business and hang around our community here, because she is a bright spot. There is no doubt. Catherine, we appreciate you, dear.
Well, thank you. I just want to say something too, that last Friday I volunteered for the at Morning Point. We did a birthday. They do a monthly birthday, and we tried karaoke. It was awesome.
They still like to sing,
it was awesome.
Don't they?
Yes. So it was awesome. So that was a great fun, and we're going to try to figure out how often I can squeeze in and do that. So Yeah, you should come sometimes. I'll let you know when they.
Well, I was over there and filmed. They had a Hawaiian. A luau over there. Nakai was over there from Celebration Travel, and she was teaching them the hula, and they were hula hooping and having Hawaiian smoothies. And Nakai really did a great job. She was giving a history lesson about the islands, because some of those folks had been to the islands, but a lot hadn't. And so she's of course, that's where she was born and raised, and a lot of nice things happen over there, and a lot of nice people donate their time to see that it happens. And again,
I'm glad
there you are. Just like the other night, I was out at the opening to the new Casa Mexico moved to their new location. We have some film of that. I don't know whether it's going to be on today's show or not, but I looked up and I said, "There's Catherine."
Surprise!
Surprise! She's everywhere we go.
That's because we make copies, so there's copies of me, actually. It's not the real me.
Oh, it's not you?
No, it's a copy of me, because, never mind, John.
You're a clone?
Yes, I am.
Clone Cat.
Yes.
Sweetheart, thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys always letting us come in and get the word out about all the activities that's going on.
History.
Number 3.
Be there.
I went to several colleges, but when I stepped into this gym, it just felt like home.
Just learning the different techniques and the way Mr. Bryan tells us how to study the subject. Art, that's where it's really at for me.
I decided to go to nursing because I've always wanted to help people. You make those connections that you probably never forget. This is my motto, my future.
If you're interested in the freshest China buffet in the area, you've got to visit the China Super Buffet and the Walmart Shopping Center in Deckard. Featuring all the Asian dishes you have come to love, the China Super Lunch Buffet starts at $6.39 and the Dinner Buffet at $9.99. Sushi is available all day, every day, and crab legs every night from 3:30 till close. Seniors get a 10% discount. Kids 3 to 5 eat free Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday nights. Happy hour is 5 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday with $1.29 drafts. Leo and his staff will be waiting for you at the China Super Buffet, Walmart Shopping Center in Deckard.
I'm Marley Matlin for the American Red Cross. In an emergency, infants and children can't always tell you what's wrong. Being able to read critical signs and knowing how to respond can make all the difference. The Red Cross offers infant and child CPR training, where you can learn how to recognize and respond to respiratory and cardiac emergencies. Visit www.redcross.org or call 1-800-HELP-NOW. Together, we can save a life.
For things other people get right away just doesn't make much sense. Get high-speed Charter internet and enjoy downloads way faster than DSL.
Welcome back to Just Plain Living. Last weekend we had some fine graduates from the Tullahoma High School, and we caught up with Corwin Davis, who is the senior class president and the THS choir, and we're bringing that to you now.
Good evening. I wish to welcome you all to this commencement ceremony. It is my distinct honor and privilege to speak to you all on this auspicious occasion, as I am humbled to be elected all 4 years as a class officer for this excellent group of students. Thank you to all family and friends who have come from near and far to celebrate with us in this special event and who have encouraged us along the way to reach this destination. Graduates, we have truly experienced a lot if we have gotten to this night. We started this academic journey 13 years ago and have been awaiting the night of graduation for years. It goes without saying that our class has gone through a great deal throughout this journey, and now on tonight we recognize and applaud our completion. We have stuck with it through the worst of times, and we have shined brightly in the best of times. We have survived gas leaks, biscuit bomb threats, and a host of Coach Allball scoring since. We have excelled in academic, vocational, technical, athletic, and performing arts throughout our region and have dominated in our years in high school. We were the last class to receive open blocks, and we also successfully escaped High School 101. Both achievements and frustrations seem like minor inconveniences or mediocre steps in the big scheme that led to tonight. However, they last as memories that we will carry with us outside of this school as we embark into the real world. Despite the problems that may have plagued some of us and the trials and tribulations that brought all of us, today we stand in the comforting fact that we did it. We took the difficult math tests, we wrote the brain-frying essays and papers. We passed all the needed courses and conquered the school like none before us. No matter how we arrived at this point, we have all successfully done so, and we now rest in the accomplishment of this great task. No matter where our paths may lead from here, either to college, technical school, or even to the workforce, we are ready. Administration, faculty, and staff, thank you for you have done your job. Your work with us is complete as you have exhausted all measures to ensure we are prepared for the academic roads ahead of us. Rest assured tonight that we are leaving this place equipped with everything we need in order to succeed in whatever path lies before us. Parents, guardians, and other relatives, thank you and take pride in the young adults you have raised. For bringing us into the world, loving and caring for us, and always encouraging and supporting us, you have done an excellent job. Although your job is never complete, know that us graduates tonight are ready for the next step of life. Continue to love, care, and support us, but don't forget to let us fly, knowing that you have prepared us to live great lives. And graduates, each one of us has the opportunity to make a difference. Here before me sits an incredible group of students who all attain gifts and talents that match our aspirations. I encourage each of us to take the opportunities afforded to us, open our wings, and begin to fly into our future. We have the tools and the power to shape our destinies and to become whoever we desire to be. I take the time to encourage each of you not to follow the mass of popularity, but rather create your own trail that sets you apart as the great individuals we are. As we embark into the next chapter of our lives, let us move with anticipation, knowing we are prepared. As the last school bell rings for us, let's run out the door and conquer our lives and reach the levels of success we are all capable of. It has been my great privilege and honor to represent this class as an officer for all 4 years. May God bless each and every one of you as you continue your lives and prosper so greatly. Thank you all, and congratulations, Tullahoma High School, Class of 2012.
Baby,
It is said that the eyes are the windows to the soul, and the Eye Care Center wants to make your eyes the best windows possible. The professionals at the Eye Care Center have been offering comprehensive eye care for over 30 years. From eye examinations to eye surgery, from children to seniors, we have the services you need. We pride ourselves on taking the time to fully understand our patients' wants and needs. Each patient is a unique situation and deserves our full attention and the latest treatment options. So call or stop by one of our 4 convenient locations and start seeing better today.
Hello, this is J.D. Oliver from the Smokehouse on Mount Eagle Mountain. Me and my sisters Nancy and Betsy would like to thank you all for your continued support. This year we're celebrating our 50-year anniversary at the Smokehouse. In conjunction with our 50-year celebration, we are bringing Music on the Mountain every Saturday night, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m., featuring the best of Nashville. We have had some wonderful singers, hit songwriters, and Nashville's rising stars have taken the stage. Come out this Saturday night and every Saturday night through the end of the year. Make it a date night or bring the whole family. Help us celebrate 50 years in the community. Music on the Mountain is free every Saturday night at Jim Oliver's Smokehouse.
Hey, this is Sean Mayer. I'd like to invite everybody out to the Smokehouse every Saturday night for great music and awesome food.
Thank you very much, y'all.
Some people think that pressing their on-demand button will cost money or make their house explode or something. Of course, neither of these things is true. On-demand is just a way to access thousands of free movies and TV shows. The code to blow up a house is actually channel up, channel down, 2*77.
On demand, thousands of free movies and TV shows on your schedule, and nothing bad.
8 minutes. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we're pleased to have joining us on the set now Walt Wood, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Shelbyville Bedford County Chamber of Commerce. And Walt, you know, I don't know a lot about the economics of Bedford County or Shelbyville, but I'm looking at some unemployment numbers, looking at some sales tax collections numbers for some other counties for our news program, and they're looking better. How is that working in Shelbyville? We've seen the economy improve this year somewhat over the past few years. We've had an announcement earlier this year of one company expanding, and we're working with several other companies that are in the process of either planning for some new business within their companies or acquiring some new business. So that's encouraging, and the unemployment rate is still over 9%, still way too high, but we're doing better than we have in the past several years. And some of our neighbors have 15, some approaching 20% unemployment. That's just a desperate situation. So it could be worse. Well, it could, and we're all a part of a team in southern Middle Tennessee. If we're not able to secure an expansion or location of a new business, we're hopeful that our neighbors will win an expansion, because folks can travel around our community pretty well, and we've got people that work at the Deckard plant. We've got people that work at Nissan in Deckard and in Murfreesboro, and vice versa. That live in Shelbyville. So we're hopefully on an upturn. Right. Okay. And it's been a while coming. I know we're all very, very glad about that. You guys have, I think, a business expo coming up, do you not, pretty soon? We do. We have the 3rd annual Community and Business Expo at Calsonic Arena. It's going to be June the 5th from 12 to 7, and I believe that's next Tuesday, and it's open to the public. It's free. We've got over 40 exhibitors scheduled to present, and it's a good opportunity for companies to network, to show their wares, and to make connections, and hopefully win some new business. Okay. All right. And so if you're, I guess if you just want to go over there and check it out, and you don't have a business or anything like that, but you just want to go see what's going on over there, it'd probably be a good opportunity for you to learn what's happening in the community. It is. That's one reason we're having the event, is to expose the community to the businesses and services that are available in our community. Okay.
And I'd say if you've got 40 that's already a part of that, that's pretty good start to that.
It is. This is our third event that we've had. We originally had scheduled for this year's event to be on a Saturday, and we found that a lot of exhibitors were unable to come on Saturday because, being a small business, they couldn't leave their place on as easily on a Saturday as they might be able to during the week. So we changed it back to a weekday, and are looking forward to a big event.
If you're watching this tonight, which is Tuesday, is it still possible, if you're a business, that you can get in? Or
yes.
Okay.
If you're interested in participating, please call the Chamber of Commerce. Our number is 931-684-3482. And sign up. Or come by the Chamber. We're located at 100 North Cannon Boulevard in Shelbyville, Tennessee.
Okay. Or maybe if you want to join the Chamber of Commerce and you're not already a part of that, I'm sure Walt would love to introduce you.
We'd be glad to have you as a member. We're all about supporting our businesses and our community, and being a member of the Chamber is a good way to network and meet other businesses and other people interested in supporting the community.
That might be something we should elaborate on. But first of all, that number that's on the screen there, I think it's Walt's number, right?
That's correct.
And so if anything that we're talking about today you'd like to know more about, or you'd like to be a part of this event, or if you'd like to become a part of the Chamber and you're not already, just call Walt at that number there, and he'll be happy to enlighten you and give you some more information about this. You mentioned something just a moment ago, Walt, and then about networking. Networking is really, really important. If you happen to be in business, as we are in our production company here, it's important, and the Chamber offers you an opportunity to do that, I think.
It does. We have a number of events throughout the year. Our Chamber building last year was used over 206 times by different groups to have meetings there, even on the weekends. And there's something going on almost every week at the Chamber. And then we have several major events in the year. One is our holiday mixer, and we also have an annual meeting, and we have a barbecue in the fall. But all the activities that we have are opportunities for people to meet other business people and to spread the word about their business and their services and what they're doing. We also have a small business group that meets every Thursday at the Chamber. The Middle Tennessee Business Network meets at 8 o'clock at the Chamber, and anyone interested is welcome to attend.
Do I recall that you guys did some major renovation to your Chamber office recently?
We did. We are so proud of the Leadership Bedford class. This year, just completed their class year. They renovated the auditorium with a new floor, new paint, new artwork, including tables and chairs, and they also renovated the lobby. And we did some other painting and fixing up in the rest of the building. So we're first class, spick and span, ready for business.
All right, and that was a volunteer initiative that helped do that.
That's a volunteer initiative. The Leadership Bedford program is a program to develop leaders in our community that's been going on for over 20 years. And each year, the adult class has a project that they undertake, and this year it was renovating the Chamber auditorium.
You know, Shelbyville is known for a lot of things, but I noticed when you gave me your business card this morning, and also on your flyer here that you're sending out, there's a walking horse on there. How important is that to your community?
The walking horse is very important to our community, and we're very proud of the walking horse industry that we have there. We're very proud of the celebration and the horse industry organization that the celebration formed several years ago called SHOW. And the fact that the soaring of the animals has been dramatically decreased. Unfortunately, there's still some bad folks out there that are doing it, but we don't support it, never have. And we had a horse show this past weekend at the celebration, and I understand there were no horses found in violation.
You're exactly right, and there has been some bad publicity about that industry as of late, and we just want to say that we actually did a live stream of that, and what Walt just said is exactly true. The government was there, USDA was there, and I sort of believe the celebrations or the inspection organization, which is called SHOW, is probably more stringent even than the government as far as what it takes to be able to get into those shows. So that's a very, very positive thing for Bedford County and for the walking horse industry. Let's rehash real quick as we're running out of time here, Walt, about your Business Expo.
Okay. Again, the Business Expo is June the 5th at Calsonic Arena. It's from 12 to 7 p.m. and it's open to the public, and we hope you'll stop by and visit. If you are interested in being an exhibitor, please call the Chamber of Commerce in Shelbyville, 931-684-3482. We'll be glad to sign you up, and I really appreciate being on the program here. Your programs are always very informative, and
well, thank you so much too. It's always nice to learn a little bit more about our neighbors in Shelbyville. All right. Walt, thank you so much, and thank you for the great job the Chamber of Commerce in Bedford County and Shelbyville does. We'll be right back in just a moment, folks, with more Tullahoma Living.
Serving you as a local firefighter.
Proudly served our country in the United States Air Force.
Serving Tullahoma.
Helping our kids.
Hi, I'm Terry Stroop. Your comfort is our service. We'd like to thank Tullahoma for the privilege of serving your heating and cooling needs.
How can toys like these lead to a 6-year-old's death and leave another child permanently brain damaged? Because they're not toys at all. A safety message from your local fire department and this station.
Oh, there's my cat. Should I put her away?
Lighten it up a little bit.
How's this? Great.
Good.
There we go.
So you've been meaning to do something healthy, commune with nature, get outdoors, and meet new people. We have the perfect solution. Come hike with us. You can find a Tennessee Trails Association chapter near you, including Clarksville, Columbia Franklin, Cove Lake, Highland Rim, Jackson, Knoxville, Oak Ridge, Martin Weakley, Memphis, Murfreesboro, Nashville, Plateau at Crossville, Rugby in the Big South Fork, and Upper Cumberland. We're on the web at TennesseeTrails.org. It's fun, it's stress-free, and it's good for you. See you on the trails.
Folks, it is Bonnaroo time in Tennessee once again, and we're here on the hallowed grounds of the Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival. And I'm joined today with Mr. Russ Bennett. Russ, I know you're real busy. Thank you for taking time to talk to us. If you would, tell our viewers what's your title and what you do out here at Bonnaroo.
Well, a lot of people have been trying to figure that out for quite a while, and so far they haven't, so therefore I'm still here. But we call it sort of head of visual design, visual components, and we interact with all the departments.
Excellent, excellent. So a lot of the artwork, a lot of the design and everything kind of goes through you, right?
Yes, or is managed by us in some way or another, you know, to try and facilitate it and help people be successful at the visions that they have for us.
And we're standing right in front of the iconic fountain, which everyone who comes out to Bonnaroo knows. We were discussing a little bit earlier. If you don't mind, maybe tell us and walk us through a little bit kind of how the fountain works.
Well, we originally designed the fountain, and it still does. What it was designed to do is be a central sort of park place, an iconic piece that people would come and meet at. We know it gets hot as heck down here, and so it's also a way to provide some fun way to have a little bit of cool off, a little bit more than in a mist tent, for example. And it's a zero pool. In other words, it doesn't hold any water, so you know you can't fall down and breathe it in or something like that. And then so how it works is we run about 1,000 gallons a minute through it, through all the various different orifices and DOS loopers in the top and all that kind of jazz. And that water is recycled through a couple of reservoirs that we have buried underground. And we switch those reservoirs from one to the other as the water begins to get cloudy. We also filter it, and we also chlorinate it so that it stays above standard.
Great.
But meanwhile, you know, we shut it down from time to time in order to clean it, and we never turn it on in the morning.
Right.
Because people would use it like a shower.
That's true, yes.
And so we
don't think we would want that, really.
That. And we have little, around the edges, we have little places for foot washing.
Right.
Because sometimes that's the worst of it. People just want to wash their feet. So we let them wash their feet, and that goes into a separate drain system.
Well, we were also going to ask you about, it seems like every year there's always something new out here that's aesthetically we can look forward to. One thing that really jumped out at me today was we have some new trees over here that you guys have planted.
Yes, those are all artificial trees that we had made in another cosmos, actually. Yes, and flown in. It was one of the last things that the space shuttle brought on its last bit back here, just for us. No, we.
Gotta love those Columbia guys. That was nice of them to do.
Great. I mean, you know, it's a meaningful act, a cosmic act. No, there were many more trees here, at least in Centeroo when we first came, and through, I think, natural attrition from lightning and age, a lot of them are, you know, they're mature, have died off. And we also have learned that the kind of foot traffic that we have, many of these trees' root system is close to the surface, and it's hard on them. So we're going to start a new regime to try and keep heavy traffic or tractors or whatever away from them. But to that end, we planted 100 new trees this year.
Oh, that's great.
Of a variety of species, all native, from a local nursery, a variety of oaks and tulip poplars, which is the state tree.
Of course.
And we picked them for their shade and their long-term specimen qualities. So it's a bit-by-bit process. It also adds to our greening efforts.
Absolutely.
You know, trees are green just by definition, at least some of the year.
Yeah, really.
And so hopefully we'll continue. We want to be able to continue to plant, you know, maybe around 100 trees a year. And one of the things that we want to do is make an opportunity both to the fans that come and to whomever to sponsor a tree. And then, you know, we put a little plaque and whatnot, because then they can be a part of it. They can memorialize themselves, and or some family member or some important event in their lives, and you can come back here, because, you know, these trees will have a long life. So
that is excellent. What a great idea. And also, kind of on the subject of new things, is there anything this year that's really got you excited that maybe you guys hadn't tackled before, or anything that kind of stands out to you, Russ?
Well, a couple of things that are sort of repeat, and the fountain is one, is that we, a number of years ago, started providing the opportunity for individual artists to put their mark on it. And so we have a fellow named Nick here this year, and he's a great artist, and we'll see what it comes out at. And so that's always fun and new. The tower this year, we have actually outfitted it with some jets. So it will lift off at midnight and go right up into the sky.
Well, who needs a space shuttle program then?
Well, we're not sure of the return, but
we're good on liftoff.
Good on liftoff. But no, we're going to do some things with the tower that will take. Last year we put the cuckoo clock on it, and we have the bird that comes out, and so we're going to embellish that. So there'll be some exciting new things to observe there this year. And there's a bunch of other opportunities around. We're doing more also with shade for our fans as well. And we've also instituted, I mean, this isn't actually art, but it is the art of living. We want people to have a good time here. We want them to be healthy. We want them to hydrate. We want to do all that. So we've started this sort of Bonnaroo. What do we who work here and are involved in it think about it? What's the culture? What are the values we really want to really put forth? And so that code of looking out for each other, don't be that guy, hydrate, and to that effort we're wanting to put more shade structures up and things like that, so that people can have a better time, because you know it can, you live here.
Absolutely.
It can be 95, 100, and just, you know, if you're not hydrating and you're overtired, you might not realize you're getting heat stroke.
True.
You just think, I'm partying a little hard.
Oh, yeah.
So,
but
it
does get a little warm out here in southern Middle Tennessee.
Right now it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's great right now.
This is the weather we ordered.
Yes.
Right. So
now 2 weeks from now we don't know. But
right. Well, we ordered this same weather for 2 weeks from now.
Well, hopefully they'll deliver.
Hopefully somebody else didn't get a different order in.
Well, Russ, as always, everyone here, the crew, everyone involved with Bonnaroo does such a wonderful job, and you guys care so much about the community, and you care so much about the festival goers, and like you said, having a great experience and leaving a great legacy too, which you guys have absolutely done so far.
We try, and seriously, we've made long-term friends here. We do care about the community. We are part of the community.
Absolutely.
And we want to be the best community corporate citizens that we can be.
Well, you certainly live up to it, and Russ, I know you're busy. I want to thank you again for chatting with us.
All right.
And looks beautiful, and looking forward to getting kicked off.
See you soon.
Anyway, they're doing a thing. We got these three, and there's their shot.
This is a tree that was never chopped down to make a crutch that was never needed. By a child who never got polio. Because vaccine was never in short supply. Thanks to people whose compassion wasn't either. Over the years, Rotary Club members have helped immunize over 2 billion children against polio. Soon, the world will be polio-free. Rotary, humanity in motion.
All right, folks, we're back, and that's another one in the can.
That's another one in the can. Lots of things going on.
Well,
don't
there
forget,
always is
don't forget to
around
come
here.
to South Jackson Civic Center Saturday night and see Catton, his story.
His story.
I tell you, that is a fun show. It's fun. It is fun. And when I've been to see that show, it's been packed, and the kids were singing in the audience and clapping and stomping and having the time of their lives.
on the stage and dancing.
Yeah, it's fun.
You know, what we'd like to tell everybody out there, Memorial Day is over, but summertime is here. Please be safe. Watch out what you're doing when you're on the waters, when you're out. Kids are running around everywhere. Drive carefully around your town, because the young folks are out on the streets.
You know, don't throw your trash out the window.
Don't throw your trash out the window. Be green.
Stay green. Keep it clean.
Keep it clean. Keep it green. And you know, we appreciate all the folks who help us put this show on. And if you go into one of the sponsors' locations, tell them thank you.
Thank you, yes.
Because without them folks, we couldn't be here, and we sure do love being here, and I hope you love it that we are.
They do too. Otherwise, they wouldn't be watching.
They wouldn't be watching, would
not to
they?
love?
What's not to love? Well, I guess it's about time we say bye, huh?
I guess so. I think it's done. It's over.
See you next week,
See you
folks.
next week.
Yeah.